welcome into Bobcat Live. I'm not Brandon Lewis. I'm not Dylan Does. We went deep into the bullpen tonight. I'm Zach Tomish, your host. And tonight we've got up here Luke Cross, our head wrestling coach, along with Nick Rebick. How you guys doing this evening?
Wonderful.
Great.
And so, Luke, I'm going to start with you. We just had a big conference, not only conference tournament, but then state tournament for the girls wrestling this past weekend. How do you think that went overall, just for the first year doing it for Iowa?
Yeah, for the girls' tournament was amazing. Unfortunately, none of our girls qualified. We had two girls that were really close that didn't quite punch their ticket. And then, but we did bring them to the tournament to watch the final round, and it was an electric atmosphere. They really enjoyed it, and it got them fired up for what's to come. So it was a great experience for them.
Yeah. So overall, how do you think the girls went, or the girls' season went for the Bobcats?
Overall, it was better than I expected. Like I've said many times, I didn't know what numbers were going to be like, and we had consistently 12 girls in the room, and that was just a great feeling to have that in there. And they were all eager to learn. They had their moments, like anything. It's like a roller coaster in a way, but they continued to plug away, and they finished the season strong.
So out of those 12 girls that you guys had, how many of them were first-time wrestlers this year?
Well, 12. We had there was one that wrestled for a few weeks last year.
Okay.
So we're not really counting that.
Okay. So none of them had much wrestling coming into it?
None, yeah.
You probably saw a lot of growth then with those girls throughout the year.
Tremendous, yes. A tremendous amount of growth for sure.
All right. So, Nick, this is your senior year wrestling. How's the senior year been going?
Great. 28-4, I think, is my record. So it's a lot better than what I've done in years past.
In years past, yeah. So I saw here during the the Iowa Lions Conference Invitational, you placed second here. How do you think overall that conference tournament went for you?
Only wrestled twice, actually. I had a first-round bye, so I only wrestled twice, and the first kid I wrestled in the semifinals was a kid that I've beaten twice previously. So I was pretty confident that I was going to make it into the finals, and I was hoping I could win, but I didn't. But second place still isn't that bad.
Yeah, second place is always good. You're making it on the podium there. Coming back to you here, Coach Cross, we've got two wrestlers here that are ranked in the top 12 coming into we got districts this weekend. Mm-hmm. Where do they have to place in districts to move on to state?
So in districts, they just changed it this year. Previously, it was top 2 at districts would qualify for state, but they've expanded the state tournament to now top 3 per district qualify. So it's made the tournament quite large. It's now a 4-day event rather than a 3-day event. So next Wednesday we'll start. But to districts, yeah, it's a top 3 qualify. And we're excited for, obviously we got 2 kids in the rankings. I think that's inaccurate. We should have more, but that's just me. Yeah,
so we've got Luke Hagemans there at 145. He's ranked 9th. And then we've got Johan Gomez at 195, ranked 12th. I was watching you guys. I did some play-by-play for the Allie Morrison duels. Luke Hageman just manhandled every single opponent that I saw him wrestle all day. Is that what it's like to watch him every time he's wrestling on the mat?
That's what it's like in the practice room and in competition. Yeah, he just is a ball of fire out there. He just goes and goes and goes, and he knows this is his final high school year, and he's leaving with a bang. So
yeah. So I'm going to come back to you here, Nick. Final year in school, final wrestling season. What's it feel like to come into the end here? Is there any icing on the cake? Is there something that's coming up next?
It's kind of a surreal feeling. I don't really realize that it's done until we're getting to this part of football season. I didn't realize it was over until the last week or so, and now I never feel like wrestling would end until we're here now with districts coming up, state tournaments coming up, and it's kind of a surreal feeling. Kind of excited for next year, though. I'll play baseball in college for Central in Pella, so that'll be a fun time. But yeah, it's kind of a weird feeling knowing that it's all coming to an end.
So what are you working on in practice? What are you thinking about leading up to districts then?
Just staying on offense. Score first, score fast.
So I always like to ask this question with wrestlers. When you win the coin toss or it's your turn to pick between rounds, what do you like to pick? Neutral, up, or down?
I like to stay on my feet a lot. I'm really comfortable there. I feel like I can control the match a lot better from my feet than any other position.
Okay. I always like picking down because I've got long arms and I can usually do some sort of I can wrap my arm around them and roll or create some sort of cradle. But I always preferred the down position. I thought it was very interesting kind of watching the Allie Morrison duels all day, the difference in wrestlers and what they enjoy. Being comfortable in the neutral. So how do you like to shoot? Do you like to wrap up and kind of snap them down, or are you shooting for their legs?
I'm going for the legs. That's what I'm looking for the entire time.
Okay. All right. So, Luke, when you're coaching the players, it's got to be, Nick likes going for the legs. So when you're watching him, is that what you're always instructing? Or are you trying to teach him other moves so that way he's not always trying to go for the legs?
We don't necessarily try to take them out of their bread and butter, especially not during a match. We might show them stuff during practice, but during matches, it's you're working on what you know and what you're good at. I mean, Nick said it best once about getting nervous for matches or the anticipation for a match, and he's like in baseball, he says, well, I don't care if the guy pitches 100 miles per hour or 80 miles per hour. I'm still going to swing, right? So same thing in wrestling. You're going to go out there and you're going to do your moves. You're going to do your thing out there, and you're not going to really change up anything for other people.
Yeah. Well, very cool. So, Luke, what are you looking for coming into districts? What's your hope here for the team?
Well, I like to vocalize goals. So my goal is 7 to state. So it just sounds nice too. So that's a personal goal of mine, and I think we're capable of doing that as well.
Okay, so I know we had some success at state last year with some like Xavier Anderson made some noise last year. I know Luke Hageman was there last year.
Oh, Luke actually was one away from qualifying, so it was
okay.
Yeah, no. So Xavier he's our sole returning state qualifier.
Okay, so we're looking to have 7 this year. That'd be a big jump from 1 to.
We had 3 last year. We had Gannon Williams, Tristan King, and Xavier Anderson.
Okay.
So a big jump would be nice.
Yeah, that means you're moving in the right direction with the program as well. So, is there anybody here on the team that it's going to be tough to kind of fill that role, or do we got some good people replacing our seniors?
All the seniors are here, and I chose Nick to come tonight just for that sole reason, because I really admire what he's accomplished through his 4 years here. I obviously was not part of the program as much until the last 2 years, but I mean, he went from a guy winning 4 matches his freshman year to, we're talking one of the best in the state. So, we'll miss him for sure.
So I won 3 matches my freshman year. I was also 6'2" and 140 pounds soaking wet. So I switched to basketball after that. But have you been wrestling your whole life, Nick?
Yeah, I've wrestled since I was in 2nd grade.
2nd grade, okay. So I feel like with wrestling, my roommate actually, my freshman year of college, was a wrestler growing up, and it's just something that's kind of in you. Either you've got it or you don't. So I did notice on the football field this year while you were out there, I'm like, that guy probably wrestles. So you can see it in kind of all aspects. So I'm excited to see what you do on the baseball field. I'm not sure how the aggressiveness will transfer, but I'm excited to see how that works. But Central next year?
Yeah.
Baseball, what position?
Outfield.
Outfield. All right. Well, Nick, I appreciate all you did for the Bobcats this year. Good luck at districts coming up. Luke, good luck. I appreciate you guys coming in here on Bobcat Live. But coming up next, we're going to be talking to Coach Mike Loupee with the swimming team and seeing what happened. They got 3rd at districts, and they got some people that qualified for the state meet as well. So we're live from Zeno's, and you're watching Bobcat Live on KFJB-TV.
Marshalltown's best pizza, Zeno's is the place to get delicious homemade pizza from scratch that the whole family will love. For some, it's a family tradition, and Zeno's Pizza is all about old-school family-owned pizza making. Zeno's respects tradition so much that they have had the same thin crust pizza recipe for over 70 years. There are a couple of ways to get your Zeno's Pizza. You can dine in, order online for pickup, or call 641-752-1245. Zeno's Pizza, 109 East Main Street, downtown Marshalltown.
And we're back at Zeno's here on Bobcat Live. We've got Coach Loupee coming up here, and we've got another swimmer as well. So we'll let them get settled in. How are you guys doing this evening?
Good.
That's pretty. Lincoln Barker here joining us as well. It's kind of a busy night for you, Coach, isn't it?
We're working at getting ready for state. We leave tomorrow morning. The boys will be out of school. We'll get in the water early and then take off for Iowa City. It's all done. We'll see what we've got left after districts.
Okay, so You had an interesting quote right before the district meet or leading up to it. You said that you thought the boys were tired, their bodies might have been worn out, but you liked their times. I've been kind of sitting on that a little bit. I think I know what you mean, but what do you mean by that?
Oh, that was before taper. What we do, we don't have the year-round programs, and we share athletes. Lincoln's a multi-sport athlete. So what we accomplish, we do in 13 weeks, and that's a very short time to get into swimming shape. From week one, we're just pretty much pounding them. More yards, more intensity, faster. I don't really care if you're tired. Keep going. And all that kind of culminates to the week before districts where we back way off. So Lincoln's a great example. His times just kind of slowly come down, and then we rest him, stretch him out, and then he had some really great time drops. Lincoln dropped 15 seconds in his 500 free to qualify for the 500. So we basically talk about the fact that you're going to be physically abused for 12 weeks to feel good for one, and it works.
Hey, whatever works, don't change it, right? So, is it pretty common to see swimmers drop 15 seconds in a race throughout the season?
Well, that was over his 500, so he had a little bit longer race. He dropped a couple of seconds in his 100 free. Huge barrier in the 100 free is 50 seconds. On the 400 free relay, Lincoln he broke that 50 and he went 49. So that was a really big. That's one of those really big barriers. We look for and expect time drops. General rule is a second to a second and a half, maybe per 100. But there's other factors. How hard does the swimmer work day in, day out through the course of the season? Has he remained healthy? Getting the flu or a nasty head cold right in the middle of the season kind of takes out, and they lose a lot of that conditioning. So have they stayed healthy? And then it's how much muscle mass do they have, and how much muscle is resting to pull them through the water. So it depends on each kid, but we've had some really great time drops over the years.
Yeah, I think it's swimming and maybe wrestling, but definitely swimming is the athletes that I see care about their body and every aspect of their body so much. So swimming, you use every muscle in your body, right?
Every muscle all the time.
Every muscle all the time. So
yeah,
makes it tough throughout the year too.
Yeah, they're pretty worn down and beat up pretty well. We've spent a lot of time in the training room the last couple of weeks doing ice baths, and Avery has really helped us. Helped get the guys stretched out and work out some knots in the soft tissue workouts. And so yeah, it takes a lot of work, and then it takes the right touch to try to lighten them up and have them ready to go.
Yeah, so Lincoln, is this your senior year? What year are you?
I'm a sophomore.
You're a sophomore.
Yep.
That's qualifying for state as a sophomore in the 500 free. That's pretty good. How does that feel?
Surreal.
Surreal?
Yeah.
How long have you been swimming for?
I've been swimming since first grade.
Since first grade. So has it always been the freestyle, or do you have other strokes that you like better?
I'm kind of like versatile. He calls me a versatile swimmer. I can pretty much do it all.
Okay. And do you like distance then?
Yeah, I like distance, mid-distance, 200, 500.
Okay, so I was a lifeguard and aquatics director for a couple summers. I only had to do a 600, and I was pretty happy with that. I was worn out, so 600 is good enough for me. But we've got 3 relays as well that's qualified for state beyond some individuals. Lincoln, are you part of any of those relay teams?
I'm in the 200 free relay and the 4x1.
In the 4x1. And how do we feel about those relay teams? Are we going to make some noise out at state this year?
Yeah.
We hope so. Both of the medley relay and the 400 free relay are seeded 17th, and scoring is the top 16. So we need to move up at least one spot to score. The 200 free relay, Lincoln anchors. He does quite a tremendous job. He swims the 500, and then he has probably less than 5 minutes of recovery, and then he anchors that relay, and does a really nice job of it. So. Testament to his ability and his work ethic, and how much he puts himself into his race. But we look for those to move up. I believe Lincoln is also seeded 17th in the 500. So tomorrow will be a big race for him. to be able to move up that spot and be able to swim in finals on Saturday.
So, Lincoln, when you're swimming maybe next one lane over from a guy that's ranked ahead of you or traditionally has a quicker time, does that motivate you to try and get ahead of him maybe swim a little faster?
Oh, yeah. At state, there was an Indianola kid, or I don't know where he was from actually, but I was neck and neck with him the whole race, and I decided during that race that I was not going to lose to him, and I didn't. I beat him.
There you go, the mind over body there. So what other sports you play? Coach said you played a few others.
I do swim and football.
Swim and football. So do you think swimming helps you more on the football field or football helps you more in the pool?
I think swim helps me more because I'm more conditioned when running, and cardiovascular I just think is better swimming to football.
So, Coach, do you like seeing multi-sport athletes come into your pool?
I love it. You know, if you're going to win a state title in swimming, you need kids that swim year-round. But I've always thought that here in Marshalltown, we've turned out some really good, well-rounded kids, and I think part of that is they have different experiences with different coaches. I mean, Nick was just here. You know, he plays football for Coach Goodwin. He wrestles, and then he goes and plays baseball. That makes a better, well-rounded young man when they go out into the world, and then they figure out what their natural talent in whatever sport they choose to care about the most kind of rises. The cream rises to the top, and those kids get their opportunities post high school. So I'm a firm believer in multi sports. Community like Marshalltown, we've got to share our talent, and that's the only way that all of our sports are going to continue to be successful.
Yeah, for sure. So you said the bus leaves tomorrow. What time are we leaving?
They're in the water at 8:30 for a little shakeout, and then we hope to be on the road by 10. Check in the hotel around noon. They get a couple hours to relax, and then we head over to the natatorium, and Charlie Gilbertson will swim the 100 fly. Dane Petty and Lincoln will swim the 500, and then Dane Petty also broke a 28-year-old school record in the backstroke, and he'll see if he can move up a spot or two in the backstroke on Friday night, and then all the relays swim on Saturday. So
was Dane the only one to set a school record this year?
So far. This guy's close. He's close. So we'll see if we can squeeze a little more out of him tomorrow night.
So how does it feel as a coach to have a player hit a school record?
I'm old. I've been around a long time. I know every swimmer on that board. Dane broke one of the oldest ones held by Cristiano Barros. He was an exchange student from Brazil. 1995. That was one of my first years coaching. I was Coach McBride's assistant, so I remember Chris. When that plaque comes down, I'll try to locate Chris, and we'll wrap up that plaque and send it to him and say you still got one up there, and hope you remember your days in Bobcat swimming. And so yeah, it's always fun to see school records go down, and it's the old cliche, records are made to be broken, and I always feel fortunate. I've got great kids, and they work really hard. They do what they're asked, and to have their name go up on a record board is just kind of a nice reward for them that they did everything that was asked.
Yeah. Well, Coach, I won't tell you how old I was in '95, so we'll just leave it there. But I really appreciate you coming up here, talking on Bobcat Live. Lincoln, I appreciate you being here as well. Hey, good luck tomorrow, guys.
Thank you.
And good luck all weekend. So, all right. So we're live from Zeno's, and you're watching Bobcat Live here on KFJB-TV.
Doesn't end when the weather gets cold at Wandering Creek Golf Club in Marshalltown with their 2 full swing simulators. Anything you can do at an outdoor golf course, you can do at their indoor golf simulators with 80 plus golf courses to choose from. Wandering Creek has numerous indoor golf tournaments this winter, so check their website for dates and details at wanderingcreekgolf.com. You could also save with special discounts for online bookings. Make a full day of it with golf, food, and your favorite beverage at Wandering Creek Golf Club.
Don't let concerns about current events derail your long-term financial strategy. Edward Jones financial advisor Zach Wall can help. He'll work with you to understand today's financial landscape and how to be positioned for the long term. Edward Jones can give you the tools for a reasoned, disciplined approach to investing. Call Zach Wall at 641-752-3017 in Marshalltown or online at edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Since 1967, Jensen Ford Lincoln has served generations of families around Central Iowa. Quality vehicles, professional service, knowledge of our product, that's a part of Jensen. But what's more important to us is a trust that is passed down from every generation. Jensen Ford Lincoln wants to serve your family. We want to be there for your first car, we want to be there for your family SUV, and we want to see you drive away in the Mustang you always dreamed of. At Jensen, we want to be here for you now and every mile along the way.
Whether it's time for a new ride or a new-to-you ride, Lennox Employees Credit Union is here to help with new and used vehicle loans. Rates are as low as 2.24% for up to 60 months for new vehicles and used vehicles for 48 months. Go to their website, lennoxecu.com, for further details and membership eligibility, or call the office to talk to a loan officer. Low auto loan rates from Lennox Employees Credit Union, 1004 East Main Street in Marshalltown, member NCUA.
The right insurance agent can make all the difference. Assured Partners agents represent multiple insurance companies. They can pick and choose from a larger variety of outstanding insurance options. Assured Partners also handles life and health insurance and Medicare supplement coverage. With access to local, regional, and national insurance companies, Assured Partners will create policies tailored to the coverage you need. For more information, go online to assuredpartners.com/Marshalltown. Power through partnership with Assured Partners in Marshalltown, Toledo, and West Des Moines.
Hey, welcome back to Bobcat live from Zeno's Pizza here in downtown Marshalltown. We've now got Coach Mike Appel joining us. How you doing tonight, Coach?
Good.
And we had a game on Tuesday, tough one, little highway rivalry here against Ames. What was the message after the game to the team?
I thought our effort was there again. We played hard, and that's been pretty consistent, for the entire season. We just they're good defensively. Had a hard time scoring against them. Kind of came down to that. Second quarter, I think we only scored maybe 7 points, and then the fourth quarter we only scored 4, and that was the difference in the game.
Yeah. I mean, it was tough when Dalen kept going out. It looks like his legs a little banged up still. They just kept pounding it inside with Luth, and there was really no stop for him.
They do, and they're really good at what they run, and they run that clock down, and then they're just gonna. If you're not ready, they're going to run their set perfectly, and they're going to get what they want. And they did that to us a couple different times there down the stretch. Had a couple bad turnovers on our end where they got some runouts and some easy baskets as well. The effort was there, just a few possessions here or there, and some momentum changes maybe, and it might have been a little bit different.
So we got game here Friday, and then we're going to find out who we're going to play in the playoffs to start. What are you telling the team here at the end of the season to keep them motivated? Hey, it's just because we've got one game here, we still got more to go.
Well, with Waterloo East, we've played them already, and they beat them. They beat us, at their place. So I think that's enough motivation just to get payback and be ready to go against them. It got a little heated there, and I think our guys will be ready to play them again. Yeah,
the team, you got some good senior leadership on the team. That also means next year they're stepping away. Is there seniors on the team? Are they kind of stepping up? Do they see that it's coming to an end here and they want to make some noise?
Yeah, they do. And I think that's our whole team. They want to do it for our seniors as well. It's not just the seniors wanting to do it. It's everyone. They understand that at this time of the season we have to be playing our best basketball or our season can be done.
Yeah. So. You've had a couple of these guys that played up last year, Dalen and being one of them. When you're working with these guys for multiple years, do you ever see them kind of transition as one player, maybe when they're a sophomore transitioning to a different player?
Yeah, I think we've seen that with Dalen, just his confidence in overall game. He's just so much more of a threat on offense, and his ability to score the ball inside and out and shooting it really well. he's going to continue to get better and better, and it's a lot that has to do with, obviously he's just continue to get stronger, continue to get more athletic, and he's worked at his game as well in the off season. So, that's one that's kind of stood out, as well as Trey Sean and Carter, the other two juniors that play a lot for us. They just, if you want to be a good ball player, it takes kind of like Loupee said with the swimmers, you got to play year round, and those guys are willing to do that.
Yeah, and I asked you that because I was just having a conversation with Terry Eisenbarth earlier this week, and he talked about how when they were in Pocahontas, he was kind of the big guy down low. Yeah. And now about after every game, I'm telling you to tell Jackson and tell Drake to shoot the ball every time they're touching it. So he's like, the transition to watch him from an inside guy to shoot the three is just kind of been fun to watch.
Jackson's a great example of that too. When he played with the sophomores, I don't think he attempted a three. He would shoot all the time, and I'd watch him, and he would rarely miss. Just on the shooting machine. I'm like, we got to use this guy to our advantage here, and make sure he, get some shots from the outside, and he's kind of found his niche, and he's been great with it, and I'm proud of him just overall with his defense on the. He's just guarding so much better, and keeping guys in front of him, not being a liability at times on defense, and that's where it's helped us a lot, is just his ability to guard.
Yeah, I think overall the team has gotten much deeper throughout the season. Obviously you're digging deeper into the bench as the year moves on, but just as somebody that's watched the game, you can see even the guys coming in, they've made drastic improvements too. So coming up here Friday, though, we've got a little special ceremony going on at halftime. So they're retiring number 33 for Don Nelson here in Marshalltown. You're a Marshalltown grad. What's that mean to see a number go up in the rafters here?
Yeah, it's cool. That's a great thing. That was 1961, I think. So I don't know a ton about it, to be honest with you. This because it's been so long ago. But just from the little I've heard, I know he's a great player, and that was kind of back in, when Marshalltown was going to state pretty frequently, and they were just dominant. I mean, they won some state tournaments there, and so that's a really cool thing to have happen, and to celebrate and recognize.
Yeah, hopefully we can get some more numbers put up there too, right?
That's right. Yeah,
that's the goal here. But we're also going to be celebrating and honoring the 2008 boys basketball team who beat Ames, who had Harrison Barnes on the team. But you were on that Marshalltown team, so you're not going to probably be out there at halftime. You're probably going to be a little busy, right?
No, I don't think I will be. But we just kind of a 15-year reunion, and then Isgrick thought it'd be a good idea to have the team recognized as well, and we haven't made it to state since then. So it's just something that is great to have those guys back and in the roundhouse, and just see what we're doing here, in this season, and, recognizing Coach Dienap, who was my coach, obviously, and, just the commitment he had to the Bobcat program for so many years, and just everything he's done. And, our guys really wanted to do that for him, and just recognize him.
Yeah. What was it like? Were you intimidated knowing Harrison Barnes, and was that with McDermott and that whole squad?
So McDermott was just a sophomore, and he wasn't
even playing.
He wasn't even playing on that team.
Yeah.
So they had about 5 D1 guys. 4 of them were basketball, and then one was a tight end that went to Nebraska. But myself and then the other guys, we really weren't. We just had a mindset, and we didn't really care who was on the floor. We always thought we would win and had a chance to win, and that's kind of how we approached it.
Yeah, said it with the swimmers earlier, mind over matter, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, it was a good matchup for us, and we were able to get it done.
Yeah. So Friday we're taking on the 11-8 Waterloo East team. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, they're a really talented group. I mean, they got a lot of guys that can score the ball, so we got to be ready to play.
All right. Well, I appreciate you stopping in here, Coach, and letting us know what's going on with basketball, and all season really being with us. It's been a lot of fun to get to know you and watch the team really grow here this season.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Best of luck for you Friday. But coming up here, we're going to be talking maybe some ladies basketball, maybe some football. Who knows? We'll find out after the break. Stick with us. You're watching Bobcat Live on KFJB-TV.
You help Marshalltown High School and enjoy a mouth-watering burger at the same time by ordering the Bobcat Burger at Legends American Grill. 2 quarter-pound patties with crisp bacon strips, sautéed onions, and melted American cheddar, jack, and Swiss cheeses on top of fresh shredded lettuce on a toasted bun. It's absolutely delicious. $1 from every Bobcat Burger sold is donated by Legends to Marshalltown High School activities. So, enjoy a Bobcat Burger and help MHS. The Bobcat Burger, another exclusive from Legends American Grill in Marshalltown.
Small businesses are the backbone of our community. Marshalltown Area Chamber of Commerce reminds you that when you shop locally, you are benefiting members of our community and adding to our local community overall. You'll find local business owners are generally more knowledgeable, provide better service, and even know their customers by name. Marshalltown Area Chamber of Commerce exists to be an advocate for our business community. Membership in the Chamber benefits your business and adds to the strength of our advocacy efforts. For more information on shopping locally and Chamber membership, go to marshalltown.org.
Why choose Marshalltown Community College for your education?
A quality education.
Hands-on career training.
Convenient on-campus living.
One-on-one attention from my instructors.
Earning my AA degree and transferring to university, all while saving money.
Why was MCC the right choice for me? The great student activities and the friends I met.
2 convenient locations and the option to take online classes.
The right choice is MCC.
At Sports Plus Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, we customize each patient's treatment plan to their individual needs. What does that mean? It means that not every back or knee problem is treated the same, and that your program will be unique and designed especially for your needs or problem. This improves how quickly you will return to work or sports. The Sports Plus staff is encouraging and takes pride in your successful recovery. This is just one more reason why champions choose Sports Plus Physical Therapy as their favorite place to rehabilitate and train.
You're an empty nester closing in on that retirement property. Chances are your plans didn't include mom moving in, but life happens and you do the right thing. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement means caring for yourself and a loved one, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
Welcome back to Bobcat Live. I'm your host, Zach Tomish. Joined right now, head football coach Adam Goodvin. Adam, how you doing this evening?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So it's the winter season. Do you coach anything else other than football, or are you just all in there?
Well, I get the winters off. Assistant track coach, so track's starting up soon, so things will get rolling again.
What do you do with the track team? Are you throwing? Are you with the runners?
Sprinters.
Sprinters?
Yep, coach sprinters.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, we would not. You and I would not have spent a lot of time together. I was with the cross-country long-distance guys. So.
No, we wouldn't.
Yeah, so. Well, we brought you in because it was National Signing Day earlier this month, and we've got some players in with us as well. We've got 3 players, Niall Christensen, Clay Jakey, and Kwani, who are here. All of them signed to play elsewhere, so we want to highlight them a little bit. But what's it mean to you as a coach to have players now taking that next step to the next level?
It means a lot. I think, just these 3 specifically have done such a great job of working hard and developing a consistent routine in everything they do, being in the classroom, in the weight room, practice, and not only football, but every single activity that they've been involved with throughout their years in high school, and it all kind of ties together, and they've chosen this route, and couldn't be more proud of them.
Yeah, so we're gonna throw it over to the players here since Clay's holding the microphone here. Clay Jakey, you're going out to Central College in Pella, playing defensive line for them too?
Yeah, playing defensive line.
You're playing defensive line. So are you in the inside or the outside?
I play defensive end on the outside, so edge rusher.
Okay, and rusher. So you're going to get the sacks on the quarterback there?
Yeah.
All right. So taking that next step here, going to Central. What's that feel like for you? Did you think you were going to play college football?
It's always been a dream of mine since I was a little kid to play at the next level. Just in my, that was my goal, and I always had that in my mind. And finally playing at that position, it's going to be exciting.
What do you like about defensive end? I mean, what kind of stands out for you? Is that where you wanted to be, or would you want to play somewhere else?
Obviously, I'll play wherever they need me, just being on the field. But defensive end is obviously what I would like to play. Probably about defense, I love controlling the other player and just being dominant.
Just being dominant. Was he a pretty dominant player for you, Coach?
A lot of the time, yes.
A lot of the time. All right. So I want to have you hand that microphone down to Niall here. Niall Christensen is going to be joining you at Central College there in Pella. So, Niall, did you think you were going to be playing college ball?
Yeah, as a kid I always wanted to, and then there was like a little stretch where I was like, oh, it's kind of hard, maybe not. But then when I got into high school, I kind of rediscovered the love, and I've really loved football the last few years.
Really loved football here. So you're a wide receiver. I remember you catching that post against Ames there and taking it all the way down the field.
Yeah.
I never had speed like that. That's why I was running cross country. I couldn't do the sprints. What's it feel like to just pull away? Because I've never done that.
It really felt good that year. After you get hurt, you don't know if you have that speed, but it's nice to feel that speed again.
Yeah. So everything feeling healthy though, moving forward?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Rehab has been good.
All right, that's what we like to hear. I'll have you pass that microphone down one more time here. We got Kwani and Kwani. You're actually committed to go play at Iowa Central Community College in Fort Dodge to play. Are you playing offensive line for them or defensive line?
Yeah, I'm playing offensive line.
Now, which one do you like better? Do you like controlling people on the defense or controlling people on the offense?
I trained a lot of offensive line, and I feel like I'm better at that. So
okay.
Really
do you like the interior or outside for the offensive line?
And I'd say interior.
Yeah.
Just I always have that help with the center and left tackle on my side if I ever needed that help. So that's why I would choose to play interior, I'd say.
It's pretty fun to double team somebody and dominate them, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then move off to the linebacker and pancake them, and then just keep the train rolling, right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So I actually know the rugby coach up at Iowa Central. You want me to give him a call and have you go out for rugby too? No? All right. So what are you looking forward to next year playing at Iowa Central?
Really just looking forward to developing myself. I know I have a lot more room that I know I can get better, and just I know those are the people that can help me get a lot better. I know I formed a good relationship with their offensive line coach and a couple of players that are going to play there as well. So I just really want hopefully just get a lot better and just go places after that.
I mean, talking about going places, there have been some players recently gone to Colorado, University of Texas, San Antonio, Middle Tennessee. There's some athletes that have taken the next step. Is that the goal, to try and get to a bigger program?
Yeah, of course. That's what I always wanted to do. So.
You always wanted to play football somewhere?
Yeah.
All right, so that's the dream, always. So, Coach Goodvin, what are you going to do next year to replace these guys?
I don't. There's no replacing these guys. I mean, it's just it's a matter of developing the next crew that's coming up. Those juniors that are going to be seniors. And then the freshmen and sophomores that were in the program last year, and it's their time, and we'll do our best to get them ready to go.
So, what would you tell the coach at Central College about Clay and Niall? What advice would you give to that coach?
I'd imagine that the coaches down there already know what they're getting in these two guys. But, I think one thing, that I would tell them if they didn't already know would be that they're two great kids that are going to work their tails off for you every single day.
Yeah. What about over at Iowa Central for?
Same message. He's another one that's developed a routine of hard work, and it's paying off for him, and I expect that to continue up there as well.
Yeah. I should have asked you guys, are you guys all multiple sport athletes? They're all nodding yes here. So are you guys playing any other sports in college or just football?
Maybe. We'll see.
Niall says maybe. What about you, Kwanian?
I might try to wrestle a little bit.
You might try to wrestle. I could get you in rugby. They were national champions not too long ago, I'm telling you. So, well, boys, congratulations on the great season there for football and taking that next step. It's got to be exciting, something I knew I could never do. That's why I'm sitting on this side of the camera here. So, Coach, great job coaching these guys up and getting them ready for that next level. So, coming up here, we're going to be talking with Coach Brian Murphy, though, with the girls basketball team. And right now you're watching Bobcat live at Zeno's Pizza here in downtown Marshalltown on KFJB-TV.
Marshalltown's best pizza, Zeno's is the place to get delicious homemade pizza from scratch that the whole family will love. For some, it's a family tradition, and Zeno's Pizza is all about old-school family-owned pizza making. Zeno's respects tradition so much that they have had the same thin crust pizza recipe for over 70 years. There are a couple of ways to get your Zeno's Pizza. You can dine in, order online for pickup, or call 641-752-1245. Zeno's Pizza, 109 East Main Street, downtown Marshalltown.
Golf doesn't end when the weather gets cold at Wandering Creek Golf Club in Marshalltown with their 2 full-swing simulators. Anything you can do at an outdoor golf course, you can do at their indoor golf simulators with 80-plus golf courses to choose from. Wandering Creek has numerous indoor golf tournaments this winter, so check their website for dates and details at wanderingcreekgolf.com. You could also save with special discounts for online bookings. Make a full day of it with golf, food, and your favorite beverage at Wandering Creek Golf Club.
McGregor's Furniture and Mattress has your mattress. Every firmness, comfort, and support level, each at a great price. Make the investment today for a good night's sleep for years to come. McGregor's also has quality furniture for every room in your home. Beautiful, comfortable sofas, recliners, dinette sets, and office furniture to help you work and relax in comfort and style. McGregor's Furniture is proud to bring you quality furniture and great service, and they are proud to support Bobcat Athletics. McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, downtown Marshalltown, open 7 days a week.
Back in on Bobcat Live. I'm your host, Zach Tomish, joined with the girls' head basketball coach, Brian Murphy. Brian, how's tonight going for you?
Not bad, not bad. They had a good practice, last regular season practice of the year. Got some good film in and team dinner, so not a bad way to wrap up the practice week.
So you guys practice and do film sessions all in like one practice session, I guess?
Yeah, that's usually how we do it. So we'll kind of walk through things, kind of get a feel for what it looks like, and then kind of see it on film often. Sometimes flip it around. We watch film first, but for our schedule, it seems to work best to do film afterwards in most cases.
So what are we working on here in the last practice?
Well, so Waterloo East tomorrow. They're a team that we faced once already this season, a little over a month ago, and that was a game that we had the lead at halftime, 22-20, and so that's something we want to obviously build on, and there was a third quarter that really got us there. So we watched some of the highlights there, and then pretty much watched the entire third quarter and looked at some of the things that we kind of fell flat on and things we need to avoid this time around.
So what do you feel like was your advantage there in the first half? Because it was probably your best first half of the season.
Yeah, for sure. The biggest thing is we took care of the ball. That when we succeed, we're not giving them live ball turnovers that turn into points. So anytime we can force teams to actually play half-court offense, I feel really good about our half-court defense. So we're not gifting them transition buckets. We look like a much better team, and that's what we forced Waterloo East to do. The other thing for us, we outsize them quite a bit. I think their tallest player that is in the rotation is about 5'9", maybe 5'10". We've got multiple girls that are right around 5'11", 6 foot. So we feel really good about our size, but we got to get the game into a half court to take advantage of that.
Yeah, it seems like all season you guys have been facing the full court press. Is that pretty common in girls basketball?
Yeah, it is. And I think it's something that when you look at a team like ours that is pretty young, that is something that you try to capitalize a lot. And certainly if you've got a team, so somebody like Ames, they tend to struggle in the half court offensively themselves, and so anytime they can get offense out of defense, that's something they're going to look to do. So it's certainly something you see quite a bit, and ultimately it comes out of that trade-off where are you willing to kind of extend the game out, maybe give up some easy points in exchange for trying to run the other team down and create some offense for yourself.
Yeah, so you did play Ames there on Tuesday. Guys ended up losing that one 46-12. What was the message coming out of that game?
That was a game where we felt really good about the way the first half went. It was an incredibly low-scoring game in the first quarter,
yes.
3-2. Bit of a rock fight there, but we felt good about the way that we were kind of scrapping and really working for tough buckets. And I think it was 16-7 at half, and we felt like we were right in it. Just a few things got away from us, and there's a lot that kind of wore us down a little bit. Physical fatigue for sure. There's little bit of a mental toll where. I think by the end of the game, it was about 22 fouls to 7. They outshot us 27 free throws to 2, and that mental strain of feeling like you're getting a lot of physical contact and not getting the call kind of wear you down as well. So,
yes.
that it's something that can kind of make fatigue feel worse, where adrenaline will hide a lot when you're having success. And I thought you could see Ames start kind of rebounding a little bit and building off of some of their success, and so, that's when their three started to drop from the outside, where they're feeling a little bit more confident, and then that kind of dipped some of our energy in the other end. So that's something we've got to make sure that we don't allow Waterloo East to do, is build off that positive momentum, offense or defense.
So this year you don't have any seniors, like we just had three football seniors sitting there. Maybe in 3 years though we'll have 3 seniors sitting there for you. So what's it feel like to take this team then next year, knowing that everybody's coming back? You can really build on the building blocks that you set this year.
Yeah, and we've talked about it with the team all season. I mean, this is at minimum a 2-year program for a lot of them, where we've got quite a few juniors that they've got another year for us. But I mean, ultimately, what we're trying to recognize is the little things that we do individually are often what are going to build up to things. So just being a little bit strong with the ball, a little bit more confident with our shots, and ultimately just starting to recognize things that are coming in the game, and that comes from experience. So we've talked a lot about the success of next year is going to happen between now and next November. I mean, the summer is going to be huge from a player development standpoint, but then also just keeping the team together and keep continuing to work through things to build up that chemistry.
Yeah, you got to keep reminding these freshmen that in 2-3 years the game is going to be much slower to them than what's going on right now. It's a big jump going from junior high basketball. Now they're jumping all the way to playing 18-year-old women.
Well, and the thing we said about say it wasn't Ames, it was whoever played the Friday before it was a Fort Dodge. We both had essentially 6-footers, but an 18-year-old 6-footer looks a lot different than a 14-year-old 6-footer. So some of that both mental maturity, but also the physical maturity as well of just getting 4 years in the weight room does wonders as well. Right.
So coming in playing Waterloo East, we kind of just touched on it a little bit. Ended up losing that first one, 56-38. It's got to feel good, though, trying to get a win here coming in, because then we'll come into districts, which the assignments came out today. You guys are going to be playing at Urbandale on Wednesday next week. That'll be at 7 p.m. right here on KFJB-TV. What's Urbandale? What's their team like?
Well, it's always interesting when postseason assignments come out where, it's kind of that double-edged sword of, on the one hand, it can be kind of fun to get a fresh opponent. In Urbandale's case, though, is a team we've already seen once this year. But we feel pretty good about the way we match up with them. I mean, we know exactly what to expect. They've played a kind of an extended 1-3-1 the whole season, kind of similar to what Mason City does. And honestly, we felt like we did a pretty good job of taking care of the ball against them when we played them. We just didn't do a great job of converting once we got there. And so I think, given the growth we've had, because I think we played them, late November, early December, where, we feel like a different team now than we did then. And so we're looking forward to an opportunity to kind of work on, what we did against them the first time with a little bit more maturity, a little bit more confidence, certainly on the offensive end.
So when I think about man-to-man defense or girl-to-girl defense, confidence is big. And so when you're talking about, you're trying to build up their confidence, build up their maturity a little bit, are you doing anything on defense, maybe playing more zone to kind of help build up that confidence and take off that pressure of guarding her one-on-one?
Yeah, and a lot of it depends on the opponent. I mean, honestly, we feel pretty good about both our man-to-man and our zone defense. I think we've had success in both, and a lot of it just comes to guarding the point of attack. We usually put Amaya Moore on whoever the best ball handler is on them. She's become a really impressive force defensively, just slowing people down. I mean, she's guarded, Ariana Jackson going to Iowa State. In the very next game, she was guarding, I forget who it was, but, completely different type of player, and so she's very versatile. So guarding the point of attack is always going to be important no matter what defense you're in. And then ultimately, how quickly our help side reacts. And that's something that we've seen a lot of growth in our team, where we're getting a lot better sliding in. Sarah Huffman has led our team in charges for about 3 years now. And this is one of the first years we've had other girls stepping in, starting to, so we were watching the Waterloo East film, and, Ellie Hughes got one for sure, and really could have gotten another one. Kinsley Boo is another one. Said the other game, I love taking charges, which is something you love to hear. So we're seeing a lot of growth, regardless of what defense we're in. A lot of that just comes to kind of that team concept of, we're all collectively trying to prevent the ball from getting in the hoop. And, it's going to start at the point of attack, but then from there it's rotations and communication.
So coming into the last game of the season, regular season on Friday, tomorrow night, what was one thing that maybe over the course of the year that you've seen a lot of growth with your team? Maybe one or two things.
I think, number one is just the recognition of passing lanes. I think, and we've talked to a lot of teams that we've faced twice, and they've all said the same thing where, the growth we've showed where, like against Ames, up until that fourth quarter where our legs kind of went out on us, we really didn't give up too many transition buckets off the press where we were getting ourselves set, getting the ball across, and a lot of those just that growing confidence and not only securing the ball, but starting to attack some of those gaps and being a little bit more aggressive there. So, some of that basketball IQ stuff is something that we're really proud of their growth. And the other thing I would say that we really haven't talked about with the team as much, but it's something we're doing a lot better is rebounding. Where, this is one of the first years that I've been coaching where we don't feel the need to spend a lot of time rebounding because we're doing it pretty well across all positions where, certainly we've got some height that helps. But right now our leading rebounder is Sarah Huffman at, 5'3". And Kinsey Bowie's another one that she's not a whole lot taller, and she's also done a really solid job down there. So we're just doing a really good job of playing at or above our size, especially on the defensive end, which is something that I think comes from kind of that embrace of being a physical team overall.
Yeah, you say passing lanes was number one there. Mm-hmm. You guys are getting the ball to the middle and breaking that press much better towards the end of the season than you were at the beginning. And if you could get a microphone down from me to you, I'm screaming, get the ball to the middle every time that press is happening.
You and me both.
So they are doing much better doing that. Any kind of final thoughts wrapping up the year here? I know we'll do another Bobcat Live next week, but again, last game is on Friday, so what are your overall thoughts on the year?
You look back and you're always, with a young team, you're always looking at growth. We have had a lot of individual growth where, I look at somebody like Sydney Capeyu who has had a really good season, but I think it's easy to overlook some of the growth she's had just over the course of the season where, early in the year, she was really most comfortable with her back to the basket. She was playing essentially kind of a classic post position. And as the season's gone on, we've kind of moved her away from the rim, tried to get her more of an attack position where she can post out of it, but that's not her only position. And so that type of individual growth is something we're really proud of across the board. Maya Moore is somebody that defensively has done great things, but is becoming a much better passer. Ellie Hughes is somebody like that. Aniston's done a really good job of starting to fill some of those gaps and try to look for her shots. We have people kind of stepping up all across the board, and that's something that really takes some buy-in from the players, where it's easy, when the losses start to stack up, where you can feel like it's not worth the effort, or I'm just gonna kind of start losing folks in practice. And I think we've done a good job of girls recognizing what their areas are they need to improve and chipping away at those. And that's kind of what we're trying to build off of to get into the summer, is recognizing that the summer is really that individual time, because once the season starts, our main focus tends to be on team concepts. So that summertime is going to be really big for us going ahead.
I'm going to guess a lot of the girls, especially these freshmen, are probably playing other sports too.
Yep. Actually, what was funny is, I walked in the gym today and we had, I think 6 or 7 girls in the gym. I'm kind of looking around. Oh, the soccer sign-up meeting's going on. So we got a small army going out for soccer, which is, phenomenal. The conditioning is great. The coordination is great. And honestly, I think soccer is an underrated physical sport. Megan talks about that a lot, is the recognizing, anticipating passes is something that applies directly from soccer to basketball. So, we're excited to get them out on different fields and keep building up that athleticism.
Yeah, just a different type of dribbling in soccer than basketball.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit there. So, all right, Coach. Well, best of luck tomorrow night when we take on Waterloo East there. Get the ball to the middle for me. I'd appreciate that. So we'll be having that game live on KFJB-TV, as well as the doubleheader with the boys to follow that. We've talked wrestling, we've talked swimming, we've talked some basketball, we talked some football as well this evening. So I appreciate everybody coming in and watching us on Bobcat live from Zeno's Pizza tonight. And check us out next week. We'll be back here live at 6 p.m. as well at Zeno's. I want to thank our camera person, Jesse DeMeyer, and our producer right here locally, Todd Steinkamp. So I appreciate everybody watching Bobcat Live. Have a good night.